Hello everyone, and welcome to your course outline video. I decided to do this on video just so if you had questions, you could go back and listen again, because there's a fair bit of information, of course, as you know, on these course outline. So let's start. Here we go. We're in fall 2021, woohoo! And office hours I'll be there during office hours that are listed here. But of course, as you know, if you need to contact me, just come by my office or email me outside of those hours and I will respond. So basically, this course explores the knowledge and skills required to implement programs of studies in teaching English language arts in elementary schools. Course will address relevant instructional methodologies, unit planning, curriculum integration, and resource development. So that's going to be obviously the bulk of what we are going to do. It really is, the course really just is a springboard from 371, and we'll go back and have a bit of a review of that in there. There is no textbook required for this course. I'm going to be using lots of open educational resources and lots of YouTubes, lots of websites, and those will all be on Blackboard under reading list, which I'll put a separate video up for that. Okay, so our course objectives or learning outcomes, these are all linked to the Alberta Education Teacher Quality Standard, or the TQS. This is to ensure that when you graduate, we can actually give you a big check that you have fulfilled the teacher qualification standards needed for somebody going into the profession. So that's why we have all these that are linked directly to the TQS. So basically these, have a read through these. I'm not going to read them to you, but these are the titles in the actual Alberta TQS. So engaging in career-long learning, demonstrating professional body of knowledge, establishing inclusive learning environments, applying foundational knowledge about First Nations, Métis, and Inuit. So those you will see in the actual TQS. What you see below here are the MRU learning objectives and outcomes, which are basically the TQS, but just under different titles, which are professional responsibilities, planning for learning, and facilitating learning are the ones that are particular to this course. So don't get confused. They are just two ways of writing out the TQS objectives in here. Do have a read through those, because it gives you a real foundation for what we're going to do in the course and a little bit of why we're doing this in the course. It gives you that overview that sometimes we forget to do when we get so focused on, we just want to know what we have to do. So it gives you that foundation. Okay, so here we go. Detailed course content. I'm so excited about this course. I can hardly wait to jump in to this course with you. But first, a little bit of a rationale about why you have lessons on holidays. This is because we have a Monday class and we have 2 holidays on a Monday. So in order to get my 9 classes that everybody else gets, like your math and your Indigenous studies, we decided that I would do basically 2 hours in lieu of 4 hours, the hours that I miss, not making sense. The hours that we miss on those holidays, we will make up in other ways. So I will either send you some videos to watch. You will be doing some Preach Kucha presentation. Don't get distracted by that, but I will send you some online things for those days so that we end up with the same number of hours as everybody else in this semester. Okay, so we'll do a little, I'm going to do a little, this is what this is right now, is this introduction to class, to course outlines, and then I'll send you a video a little bit later on your unit lesson planning. We'll also spend the first class talking about this because I want you to have lots of time to discuss with your colleagues, to mull over what this planning stuff is, and also then to be able to ask me any questions. On September 20th, we're going to look at foundations of reading. You already have a year plan assignment. It's fast and furious. This is a 10-week course, so it you do have to keep on top of things because you basically have something due almost every week. Some of them are bigger, some of them are small. So then we look at foundations of reading. We look at reading strategies for a couple weeks because that's huge, of course, in elementary. We'll look at inclusivity and differentiation. How do you differentiate? It's a huge topic in teaching. We're going to do Peachy Coochie presentations. I'll explain that later. And we're going to look at foundations of writing over 2 classes. We'll look a little bit at assessment. And then what I call mavericks. Mavericks are some of those units that you might not think about that you could do to fulfill ELA objectives. So that's what our last 2 weeks will be in there. Instructional techniques. Now this is going to be a little bit different. So course instruction will be in a blended learning fashion. So I'm going to send you a 1-hour lecture each week, which I'm going to record in this manner, will be shared with you through YouTube, which needs to be reviewed before, I should underline this, before the face-to-face class, because I'm not going to go through the lecture again in class. I will only address key points, and then what we'll do is class time will be utilized to discuss lecture content and put it into practice. So in lieu of this lecture time, 1 hour of face-to-face time will be utilized for group and or assignment work. I know that we keep hearing that finding time to meet as a group, if you have group assignments, is always tricky. And so I'm hoping to alleviate that a little bit, but also I will be in the room. So if you have questions, I can answer them immediately. So I'm hoping this will be a nice blend to relieve some of the stress of doing group work and really kind of jumping in and really enjoying that collaboration instead of it being a burden. So this course will consist of lectures, discussions, student presentations, small group work, and hands-on experience. The intent of all these activities provide an opportunity to develop a growing understanding of the classroom context, learners, and the role of teacher within this setting, with a particular emphasis on reading and literacy instruction. So assigned readings are integral to class activities. In order to maximize benefit from discussions and lectures, it is essential that assigned readings be completed. Again, I'm going to upload a reading list and kind of my rationale for having all of the resources that I do on there. But I think it's really imperative if you really want to get the most out of your classes, which I know you do those readings beforehand because it just makes it a rich experience. Will I actually talk directly about each reading? No, probably not, because that is your responsibility, and as an educator is to be reading everything that you can possibly get around all of these topics, and because then you will go into your classroom with as much information as possible. So I would encourage you. I have vetted the reading list. I love what's on there. I think it's not only material that I want you to think about for this class, but it's material that I want you to think about going into practicum and into your teaching career. Also, these are resources that I think you can keep coming back to. So that's why I want you to be doing that. Class attendance and participation is both necessary and requires. Pre-service teacher, you're expected to contribute collegiate learning in our class. This includes full participation, class discussions, and group work. Your education classes are very hands-on. So, if you participate and are in it, it's going to be an amazing experience. Okay. Here are your assignments. Woohoo! So you have a year plan assignment. This is a group. In pre-assigned groups, you will create a language arts year plan for your practicum grade. I'm going to send out a video explaining each of these assignments. But this is just so you get to know. September 20th, be ready. It comes quick. Community classroom integrated assignment. This is cool. We love this. We love this assignment. So it is with Jason and me and with Laura Lee. And so this is actually a community classroom experience that is actually will go towards all 3. Where's my little marker here? All 3 of your education classes right now. So it's a pretty cool experience. We'll give you lots of details about that. Then there's a lesson plan creation. I want you to individually reflect on two ELA lesson plans and create one lesson plan on the lesson plan template. So you're going to teach the lesson plan October 4th, and then you'll hand it in with written reflections on the 11th. We get to do a book club. Woohoo! So individually, you're going to read 5 pre-chosen children's books, and then in groups, you will discuss these books from a variety of perspectives and create an infographic on the usage of a book club. Oh, I forgot to put in here infographic or academic paper. So if you love Canva or hate Canva, you have some options, and there are more details in the assignment. What, me, a writer? Individually in class and possibly out class, you will write based on personal experience. This will partly be a handwritten assignment, so paper, notebook, and pen will be required. Please bring your elk water notebook to each class, because I want you to actually handwrite some things in this particular instance. Not all of it, but some. And teaching literacy e-portfolio. So this is basically the same assignment that you did in 371, where you put all of the resources, all of the ideas that you think you will use in your 3rd year practicum, in your 4th year practicum, in your career as a teacher onto your e-portfolio. Okay, and that's due right at the end of the term. So here are just here's the compilation of all of your dates. There is no final exam. As you can see, there are no exams in this course. It's all assignments. That's where you are now in your 3rd year. We want to see that you can actually do it instead of just spewing out content. Okay, as a demonstration, late assignments, as a demonstration of your growing professionalism, electronic or hard copy submission, whichever one we decide it needs to be handed in on, is expected to be handed in on the due date and at the time required. So if it's a midnight due date, get it in by midnight and make sure it's there. Late submissions will be accepted only under extenuating circumstances and with advance permission of the instructor. When you're a teacher and you have report cards that you need to get into your administration, you kind of have to get them in. So this is a little bit of training to be hitting those due dates, even though there are lots of moving parts with other courses in your life. But this is a little bit of training for you just as a teacher to, excuse me, figure out how to keep on top of all of these things. There will be no opportunity to resubmit an assignment once submitted and or graded. So once it's in my hands, it's in my hands. The penalty for late assignments is 10% per day, including weekends. You don't get a buy on the weekend. Accommodations will not be made for vacations. Not a lot of us are traveling very far, but in case you think you might want to go somewhere, don't miss class. The instructor may consider an extension if notified 48 hours prior to the due date if documentation medical note is provided. Of course, we all know what is going on out there in our society. If things come up, don't cause yourself a huge amount of stress. Just contact me or contact your other instructors, and but do keep us in the loop. What we find frustrating is when, it's 6 minutes to the deadline and then we get emails. It's like, no, we have to be a little bit proactive. Academic dishonesty, don't plagiarize, don't cheat, just don't do it. Here we go. Common grading scheme, similar grading scheme to what you have always seen. It might be slightly different percentages here than you've seen in the past, but this is now we're linked with MRU. Accessibility statement, again, if you need to have some accommodations, just talk to the Accessibility Services office and then let me know what's going on. Because there are no exams, they usually now in 3rd year, the accommodations start to change a little bit more, so you don't need just more time. You might need, an extension on a due date or something like that. So if you need that, it's absolutely there for you, and they make it easy peasy for us as instructors. So it is a great support for you. Mental health statement, again, if you feel like you need some counseling or you think that your friend might be a student at risk, there are things that you can access on campus and for free. So do take those opportunities if you need it. Student responsibility. So I'm just going to read through this so that we know what's going down. Rationale for attendance. So professional learning communities are a critical component of the teacher's learning in schools. Likewise, the learning communities and education courses become powerful sources for the learning of teacher candidates. The program also endeavors to initiate teacher candidates to professional expectations regarding preparedness and communication. Just as teachers must prepare lessons and notify their schools when they must be absent, so teacher candidates must notify their instructors and mentor teachers if applicable when they must be absent. Okay, so let us know. Instructors will document absences, late arrivals, and teacher candidates may be required to complete compensatory assignments to demonstrate learning for missed course material. Instructors who are concerned regarding excessive absences or late arrivals in an EDTS or EDUC course will communicate their concerns to the education coordinator, chair, or dean. Okay, so the reason why we have an attendance policy is because what happens is if a student just decides to miss classes, they're missing vital information that then they go out into the school and the partner teacher says, well, didn't you do this didn't you talk about comprehension and spelling and fluency in your classes? And if you missed that, you say no. And then the teacher's like, well, what are they doing at the college? Right? So what we believe that what we are teaching you in class is vital to your success in the classroom. So we want you to be there. We want you to be there. Okay, so students enrolled in education, blah, 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 shall comply with the Alberta Teacher Association Professional Code of Conduct and the MHC MRU Code of Student Conduct. Okay, teacher candidates in coursework and field experiences are expected to attend all classes. This is the big one, so I want you to highlight. Attend all classes. Attendance is mandatory. However, missing one blocked class, so basically for you guys now, it's these 4-hour blocks for this semester. Because of it, we will document it, and then it may be addressed by the dean, chair, or coordinator. Okay, so if you, for some reason, if you are sick and you miss a block class, we'll just note it. If we don't get any notification and you miss one or two, that's when the red flags go up. So just keep us in the loop of what's going on. Of course, with all of the COVID restrictions, if you are feeling sick, we will have options for you to come in remotely to class. So, but just communicate. Just communicate with us so that we know what's going on. Okay, the rest is I think redundant for you guys. Be prepared for class, show engagement, refrain from dishonesty, refrain from slanderous comments. Confidentiality agreement, make sure you're not talking about students from your practicum with other practicum teachers, or you really have to be careful about confidentiality at this point. Okay, use professional language and abide by professional dress clause. So no things on your clothing that may be taken in a wrong manner, those kind of things. And then faculty support. This is what you can expect from us to support you in there. Okay. Jot down any questions that you have. We can go and we will go over this briefly in class, but hopefully that gives you the overview of what we're going to do. I'm super excited about this course, and I'm really looking forward to working with you in particular on this course. All right, take care, everybody.